Hello, welcome back to my channel. So in this video we're going to talk about Josh and his little pickle Courtney, aka the former prison lieutenant and the former prisoner. So when Josh was locked up, Courtney was jumping through hoops and hurdles trying to get Josh released early. She wrote 2 different long letters to the judge trying to help get him released sooner. Sarcasm originally reported this, so I will leave the link in the description. So Courtney originally wrote the first letter to the judge in July of 2018. A month later, her and Josh got married in August of 2018, and then Courtney attempted to write the judge again in December 2018. There's speculation that Courtney decided to do the second letter to the judge after they got married, hoping that would sway the judge's opinion, but both motions were denied. So we know Courtney was a prison lieutenant. She talked about how she got by visiting Josh for 8 weeks in a row, and she would wear different wigs as she came into the prison so she wouldn't be recognized. But you have to use your ID when you visit someone. So Courtney was going back and tampering with prison records so it wouldn't look like she was visiting Josh to try to save her job, and she got caught, and this is what got her fired and sentenced to 60 days in jail and 3 years of probation. So we're going to go over what Courtney said in those letters. This is the preface of Courtney's letter from Josh's attorney, which was released. It says, Courtney is a United States Air Force veteran, having served her country for the last 10 years. This was from back in 2018, just remember that. So she has a master's degree in counseling and is committed to ensuring that Josh is successful upon his release from incarceration. Courtney owns her own home on 2 acres and is gainfully employed with and redacted. She also owns and operates her own small business, Redacted LLC, which is a power washing, gutter cleaning, and lawn care business. In addition, Courtney is 11 years sober and is committed to assisting Josh in remaining sober upon his release from incarceration, which includes a verifiable plan in which to facilitate Josh's ongoing recovery. Courtney's inspirational story is attached herewith. And then we're going to go over her second letter, but when it's redacted, that's just to help protect names and the name of her business and help protect those people's privacy. And after Courtney wrote this first letter, she was fired from her job after she got caught tampering with the prison visitation records. So that, I think that played a big part in the judge denying the motion. So now we are going to go into Courtney's long letter, second letter to the judge. It's kind of long, so you might want to grab a snack and come on back, and we're going to get right into it. So this is Courtney's letter. It starts off saying, Josh is one of the most kind-hearted people I have ever met in my life. When Josh and I started talking, with him being in prison, I figured he would be a troublemaker and would glorify prison, which thankfully, to my surprise, he's not a troublemaker and does not glorify prison. We began talking because of a mutual friend, and I went into it without any expectations other than passing time and seeing what other corny lines someone else could say to me that I haven't heard before. That has never been the case in my time with Josh. I was immediately taken aback with my initial conversations with Josh. He has such charisma and positivity despite having been in prison for several years and still having time in front of him. I know this because I would intentionally not answer questions he would ask about me, and I'll try and divert the attention back to him. I've had past relationships where that was regularly the case. Guys would appear to be interested in me, and I would divert the attention back to them, and the rest of the time was spent talking about them. It's been very different in a positive way with Josh. He took the time and continues every day to take the time to get to know me and actually cares about how my day is. He cares if I had a rough day, and he can to make me smile and make me have a better day despite anything that may have gone on throughout his day. He takes the time to make sure I'm taking care of myself appropriately. Never in my life would I have thought I would find such an amazing and loving man that was incarcerated. Josh and I quickly found out that we have a great deal in common, as well as a very similar upbringing. He bounced around from foster home to foster home. He did not have a regularly stable home environment, and he did not have a relationship with his birth parents. I was raised in an environment that I regularly called child services on my own mother because I felt like anything else had to be better than what she put me through. Wow, that's sad. I didn't know that about Courtney. I wonder if we're going to learn more about her childhood as the season goes on, or maybe go see her mom. So she goes on to say, our similar upbringing is what really started a connection between Josh and I. I was in and out of the juvenile system and was sent away to a drug rehab program. On December 22nd, 2017, I celebrated my 11th year of sobriety. I have just finished up 10 years on the Air Force. I have obtained my master's degree in counseling, bachelor's and associate's degree in criminal justice, and an associate's degree in information systems technology. In order to leave for the military, I had to obtain my high school equivalency because I had dropped out of high school after the first week of my junior year. I am currently working with, which is also welcoming of Josh applying for a job upon his release. I've also started a power washing, gutter cleaning, lawn care business called, which Josh will be working for as well. It'll be nice to have another person to help me out because I will not allow anyone to work with me because I want Josh to be the first person to work with me. I share a bit about myself to you as proof that past life decisions do not define a person for a lifetime. I am living proof that no matter how bad someone has messed up, those actions and decisions do not define who you are unless you allow them to. More than anything, I believe my story and life lessons are what have impacted Josh so positively within our relationship. He's taken the time to get to know me from my past, my present, and what I want for our future. I have shared with him my struggles and how I have overcome them. I have an understanding what it is like to be away for a period of time and then being reintegrated into society. It is nerve-wracking, stressful, exciting, and scary all at the same time. This is something Josh and I regularly talk about. I believe this is part of reintegration many people overlook. Everyone has a different reaction, but the feelings are universal. I continue to go to meetings and counseling to help me stay on track. I speak with several different youth groups throughout the United States and share with them my story and hope someone will take something from it and make positive changes. These are all things I look forward to sharing and enjoying with Josh. Josh informed me early on in our relationship of his goal and desire to speak with the youth about his story in hopes that will help even just one person. He shared this with me before he ever knew that I speak with the youth for the same reason. I look forward to the day that Josh and I get to do that together. Okay, y'all. This letter is long. I did not realize how long this letter was. I wouldn't have done a video on all of it. I'm not even 20% of the way through the letter, so I'm just going to read the rest without typing it all up, and I might be skipping over parts that aren't important, but I'm just going to talk about the parts that stick out. So she said that Josh's grandma and grandfather have been a single source of stability throughout his life, and his grandfather passed away in 2018 when right after she wrote that letter, and she said she went and visited him in the hospital, the nursing home, and their home before he passed, and she said Josh would always call his grandpa, and his grandpa's face would light up, and his grandpa absolutely loved Josh. And so Courtney said she said in her letter to the judge and to Josh's attorney that she asked Josh's grandpa, when Josh comes home, do you think he's going to do well and stay out of trouble? And Courtney said Josh's grandpa said, do you want my honest answer? I wouldn't want anything but that. Josh can do good and make it, especially with a good woman like you by his side. I can trust you, which is why I'm telling this. Just slap him around a bit. If he starts getting off track, it's good for him. And I know you're a strong enough woman to handle him and keep him on track. And I guess the day after he told her that, Courtney alleges Josh's grandfather passed away. And then Courtney said in her letter that she looks forward to Josh coming home and being able to spend time with and help his grandma, and she's the last person in his life that's been with him his entire life. But we saw in the last episode when Courtney went and power washed Josh's grandma's house, and she asked her, how do you feel about Josh about to get out? And she said, well, don't bring him around here. She said, I don't want to see him again. I'm 82 years old. I ain't got time to mess around with someone who don't care. She says she's given enough chances. She's done with him. So I don't know why Courtney was lying to the judge saying, oh, he just wants to get out and take care of his grandma. His grandma don't want nothing to do with him. So she also said Josh has a loving, stable home, an amazing support system in place. And the only thing missing is him being free. So Courtney said she owns a home in the country with 2 acres. They have 3 reliable and insured vehicles. She said she has a cell phone for him and a plan already set up. She says we have our finances in order as well as his fines paid off. And this is the second letter after Josh and Courtney got married. And the first letter was before they got married. So she says, I'm excited for the world to be able to see the Josh that I had the privilege of seeing. I look forward to watching him grow into the man his grandfather will be proud of. And she said towards the end of her letter that starting a family is something she's been holding out on until she found the right man. And she said no matter how unconventional it is for others, Josh is the man she plans on building a future with and having a family with. She says she dreams every day of the day he comes home, that they can finally put their plans into action. And she says that she's living proof that anyone is capable of change, and she's just ready to start her family with Josh and live life with him being free. So she said they're both very driven and they both have a drive for positivity. And she says Josh has taken the time to learn valuable trades and lessons while he was behind bars. And she said she's going to be by him through the ups and downs. And she says, when I'm not working, I'm with Rose or at home with the dogs. I do not associate with people or places that could jeopardize myself in my 11 years of sobriety. I'm asking you, Your Honor, for this chance to show you the amazing success story of Josh. I truly thank you for your time and consideration. And then she says, respectfully, Courtney. And of course, we know the judge denied this motion and he was not hearing her out. Especially the judge wasn't going to take her serious after she wrote the first letter talking about how good of an influence she is, and then she turns around and gets fired and arrested for tampering with prison visitation records. So she kind of contradicts what she just got done saying. So then we know, as in a video I had posted, that Josh, he was only supposed to quarantine with Courtney for 14 days, and then he was supposed to go to his cousin's house or dad's house. And as I reported in another video, since we are seeing them on this season, Josh was arrested after the season for DV in December 2020, so about 7 months ago, for beating up Courtney. And there was a restraining order put in place by the judge where Josh was not allowed to see Courtney. I'm not sure what the if that restraining order is still currently in place or what's going on. But that's it for this video. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you turn on all bell notifications so you don't miss it while the tea's still hot. Thank you so much for watching.